Hey everybody, welcome to another Pro SC2 cast done by yours truly, Matt, this StarCraft. This is going to be a one-on-one on Shakuras Plateau. This is a ladder match between our red Zerg, who's going to be in the bottom left, Destiny, and our blue Protoss over in the bottom right, FCG Gerazal, who actually belongs to the team Convergence Gaming, a new up-and-coming team. A couple of their players are going to be at the up-and-coming MLG Providence. You can check them out at convergencegaming.com, and I'll look their YouTube channel at the bottom of the description. And I'm actually really excited. I like Destiny's style of play. He is extremely aggressive, typically a two-base Zerg aggressor type person, loves his infestors, and he's an atypical type of player, so I do like watching his games. His cast can be interesting, especially when he does have what's his name on there? Combat X on there. I'm not a fan of Combat X, but they do make for an interesting duo when they do cast, so that is entertaining. So you said good luck, have fun. He is streaming actually right here, as you saw in the conversation. Gerazal saying hi to the people and saying good luck, have fun. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. This is a big map, so I would not be surprised rather to see the Protoss expand. We do have an 11 pool going down. Actually, I remember Destiny talking something about the 11 pool. It is a new style of build where you can get that spawning pool up nice and early and do very minimally affects your economy, especially in a larger map where it's going to take time for the enemy's opposition's units to get to your base. So dropping that 11 pool and then droning up after like normal just allows to get that spawning pool a little bit up earlier and does very minor economic damage. I've been toying around with it a bit myself on the ladder when I have been laddering. Speaking of which, new Mathis versus the ladder is in production as we speak. This probe is going to get a nice good scout, is going to see a very early pool, reacting accordingly, actually going to be doing a one-base fast forge. Not sure if we're going to be using this to drop cannons in the natural. One of White Raw's extremely favorite tactics is to just cannon the natural a bit, delay that natural, and force him into an early aggressive, but it does look like he is saving up the minerals, so fast forge Nexus is going to be coming nothing out of the ordinary at all out of that. That is extremely normal for such a large map. So I feel like my volume is really loud. The patch did just go down up, so 1 second. Alright, that's a little bit better. Now, again, Fast Forge Expand, not exactly unheard of. Actually, one of the safer builds to go, especially against a Zerg, because you want to make sure you're going to have that economic advantage. Since he is going for that quick early hatchery, was not able to delay that for very long. The hatchery is going to be dropping down. Doing that two-base, I'll be curious to see what Destiny does when he sees that his Protoss opponent is going to be early expanding. The early expand is really going to force him into doing one of two things, as I've said numerous times in the past. When you see a Protoss early expand, like we are right now, you have two choices, in my opinion, two viable choices. You immediately get a third, so you can keep ahead in the economy as Zerg. That's something you absolutely need to do. Or, you punish your opponent and grab, I like how he cancels that to get his probe in there. It's worth it. Or you go two-base Roach Rush and grab those roaches immediately, but you need to react immediately. The longer you let your Protoss sit on two bases, the worse it's going to be for you. You could attempt to do a Baneling bust and bust down that wall followed by roaches, or you can go pure roaches because they can take that cannon damage, and even that the ramp is wide enough to allow a good chunk of roaches up that ramp and do some damage. So we'll see what he's planning on doing. Excuse me, as I take a sip of iced tea. Maynard transferring his probes, getting on down there, and that second is up. Now it's really up to Destiny what he's going to do. He does have a drone here at the third, so it looks like he is going to be expanding, and there goes the third. The third is approximately a minute later than it should be. As I've watched and learned and been told, when you see that, you want to get that up as soon as possible. Earliest you could possibly get it up is around the 4-minute 30-second mark, as we've seen Idra do many times. So he's going to be about a minute late on that, probably just to drone up a little bit. He does have his Zerglings in the field. Actually, I'm curious what the unit count is. He does only have one Zergling, losing one at the ramp with two that cannon or a Zealot. Actually, I believe it was a Zealot moving on down there from what I saw. And he is going to be ahead in the drone count, but albeit only minimally. Taking a look at what Gerazal here is doing, he actually is only working off of a single gateway right now, is just dropping pylons around, just making sure he has good coverage, just to keep an eye on for any overlords. I like the placement of this pylon particularly, because if there is an attack over here, he can warp in units down in the low ground and kind of pinch them and either force them back or do a lot of damage and otherwise just obliterate them themselves. Now, as far as Destiny goes, he is not really doing much either. He's kind of just dropping down a Roach Warren and a Evolution Chamber, sending a Suicide Zealot in just to see what's going on. He's going to be feeling just fine. Knows that he's got Roach is going to have all the scouting information he needs, even picking off a drone there. Potentially even 2 drones. So that is a hero Zealot. Is he? Oh, he has 3 kills. 4 kills, so 3 drones. So obviously one was that Zergling. And we are going to kill our own queen. Destiny. Destiny, what the hell was that? That is going to set you back so hard. Oh, that is bad. Not only was his expansion a little bit on the late side, but now he is down a queen, and that larva inject missing is going to freaking hurt so bad. This Overlord is going to get a good view here. And it looks like this Overlord is going to get a good view as well. I'm not sure what he's looking for. And is he going to get away in time? He tried to back it out. He let it go too far. Destiny is making a couple of mistakes here. Letting another Overlord drop down. With this popping, he is going to lose and be supply capped. Now he's going to be stuck with whatever he has. He has straight up Zerglings. He cannot reinforce this until he gets an Overlord going, which is going to be a solid minute of waiting approximately. 25 seconds, I apologize. 25 seconds of waiting. I'm not sure why I said a minute there. And he did have to drop 150 minerals on a new queen, and that he must be kicking himself right now. He is not having a good game. He's still supply capped. Was going to send some Zerglings out to do a little bit of harass, but realized he needed to pull back as he's not going to be able to reinforce them. We do have the Speedling upgrade going down at the very least. Did decide to delay that in favor of the economy. Understandable. Has been banking up very little gas, which worries me. He needs to get some more gas if he's planning on doing any heavy Roach build, which would be great against the army composition that he has right now. If he had such early Roaches, actually, I believe if he had done an early Roach rush instead of expanding a little bit on the later side against Gerazal here, he'd be able to do a lot more damage. He probably would have been busted in. Honestly, he probably would have been able to win. But we do see Gerazal is looking 1 gate, 2 Robo build, going straight Immortals, and we are going to have a Robotics Bay dropping down in turn for Colossus, it looks like, or Gravitic Drive, in fact, I believe. Yes, so we're going to see some Warp Prism play. I love seeing Warp Prism play. Warp Prisms are not used enough, even after the patch that allows the 50 extra shield. Like giving him 100 shield, 100 health, you still don't see Warp Prisms enough. The only person you ever see Warp Prisms effectively and often is White Raw. So the fact that we're seeing actually 2 Warp Prisms coming down is awesome. I love this. It's gonna, honestly, Destiny's not gonna see it coming. If he does, I'm curious how he's gonna react, as his army is primarily just Roaches right now. He is dropping a Spire according to my production tab, and here come the both of them. The Warp Prisms are up. I'm curious what Destiny's scouting information is. He does know about these. That's pretty much it. He doesn't know that this is up. He doesn't know that Warp Prisms are coming. And we are going to be doing, it looks like an Immortal drop. Let's follow them on their trip to do some damage. Now, I'm curious, if he follows us around, and actually looks like he missed the ramp, but if he keeps it down out of vision, he could potentially drop over here, send his Immortals in, and then warp in extra units to do some extra damage. So we'll see what he's doing. Actually, it looks like he's going straight into the main and just dropping and going straight to do some damage. Now Destiny needs to pull back all of his army. If you look at the mini-map, he has to pull his entire army back right now that was in the middle of the map getting ready and sending his Zerglings in, and he's focusing the hatchery. Not only did he lose his queen to himself to that hatchery, to his own Zerglings, but now he lost the hatchery itself. So that is more larva, and there's nothing he can do about it. He has queens. That's it. He did have a Spire going down, so potentially some Mutalisks will be being made now, and there they are, Mutalisks. But think about the damage that's been done. His own Zerglings killed his queen, and now he lost the hatchery. That's larva that he's losing quickly, and workers. So let's take a look at the worker kill count. 8 workers being killed, and he has been almost evened up in the worker count completely. That is not where you want to be. This is his army right now. This is all he has is Roaches, Zerglings, and what is Gerazal building over here? It looks like he's got Stalkers coming out, and he's got a few Colossus out, a couple of Colossus out. Granted, his ground army is not nearly as big as it could be because he did rush Immortals, and honestly, that build that he did where he rushed Immortals would be extremely vulnerable to a very early Roach build or even a Baneling bust. But the fact that Destiny decided to do the economic game, oh, and I missed. Looks like he almost lost his Warp Prism there, but luckily he did save it. Now they're saying because Destiny decided to do the economic game and didn't do, the scouting was all right. He only did see this. He wasn't able to do that, and he did lose his Overlord over here. Means that it allowed that build, that very risky but beneficial build for Gerazal, Convergence Gaming's Gerazal, to work. And as you can see, he's done a ton of damage. We do have Corruptors now hitting the field. He does know that there are Colossus. Before Colossus, a bunch of Immortals and Stalkers. Looks like he may lose a Warp Prism. He does, but not without the expense of a bunch of Mutalisks, and Destiny is losing more than he can afford to right now. Pardon me, I'm drinking. And it looks like he is trying to counterattack with those Mutalisks, but Blink Stalker is complete, and these Stalkers are going to do their job and just wreck here. And sadly, not going to be able to do too much, and honestly, he's just sacrificing at this point. So, Destiny is looking a little rough right now. He is going for his 4th. I question that move a bit just because of his worker count is only 10 behind. 10 ahead, and he's going to be forced to build a lot of army right now with all of this. And he looks like he's going to be looking to strike up at the 3rd here, but Destiny is going to be forced to encounter with the Roach Zergling and a few Corruptors. Those Corruptors not going to be able to do too much. They have to focus those down. I'm curious as to why Gerazal is not just actually focusing the Corruptors down with his Blink Stalkers. I like the Blink on the other side of the Roaches, so actually looking to focus that ground army. Actually a very intelligent choice. He knew that he could take out that ground army, and being able to do that renders the Corruptors completely useless, and is moving on into to do damage to the 3rd, if not completely take it out. And he is moving in and going to take out the Roaches before they can do anything. Any extra army he can kill off is beneficial, especially for when Destiny decides he needs to push out and encounter this army. And now he is completely taking out the 3rd. He's going to pick off a few drones here. And he is going to, is he going to force the encounter? He knows there's a 4th up there. He did see the drones work their way up there with the minerals. But no, instead is going to pick off a bunch of Overlords. Overlord Feast for Gerazal here, and Destiny is looking a little worse for wear. This is a little on the dangerous side, and now he's going to be forcing the encounter. Destiny pulling drones off the line. Now the Blink Micro is going down, as you can see, just pulling Stalkers back to blink out. And even if he loses this army here, which it looks like he is not going to. He's just going to retreat and then turn around to force the encounter. Doesn't want to let him to get that choke up there. But even if he decides to retreat or loses this army, he has done so much work, so much damage, 32 workers and growing because he's pulled the workers. It doesn't even matter. He can't do anything at this point. He may even lose this army, but if he does, look at his economy. Look at the minerals, the gas he has. He can't replenish this army. This is all he has. All the while, though Gerazal is still sitting on 2 bases, he can easily go and expand. He has a bank to afford the reinforcers, a bank to afford the Nexus. And even going back, he's going to have more Stalkers, a good chunk of Stalkers, and Colossus. So all he needs to do is go back there, regroup, and just repush. And honestly, he doesn't even need to expand right now. Granted, his main probably looking a little bit low, but enough to suffice for now. Even one more push just to afford another push. And it looks like he's going to get Zealots out there just to take the brunt of the original hits. Only 3 Zealots, so nothing big. And a bunch more Stalkers. And now it's going to be another push, and he is going to expand here. And if you take a look, because he has pretty much lost his entire economy, and he needs to re-drone up, this is really all Destiny has. He has a good chunk of Roaches, don't get me wrong, but they're 2-0, no attack ability. Some Zerglings, which are also going to be 2-0, and a few Corruptors that will be focused down in the coming encounter. And he knows it's coming. He did have Zerglings there that were taken out by Gerazal, and smartly using the Corruptors, I apologize, smartly using the Colossus to give vision the high ground so he can just blink up. And it looks like that's what's going to happen, and these are the dumbest Stalkers, Colossus ever. They need to go around. And there's the blink. And here we go. We're making the push. This is the 4th. It's not going to last. There's nothing he can do about it. And there it goes. Trying to get all those drones out of there as quick as possible. Giving him the chase. Is just going to put him in the corner and just pray and hope and cry that they don't get killed. And obviously no 3rd as he hasn't had the money to re-expand. And here comes the encounter. Going to catch these out of position a little bit. He'll get a few kills there, but this right here, the high ground, is going to allow him to just wipe away at everything. It's smartly moving him over. And now, if he wants to, he could just push. And he would win, honestly. He would just win. What are the upgrades? So he's 0-0-1. The armor is in favor, obviously, of Destiny. But the attack is in favor of our friend here, Gerazal. And he's just, I think he's just playing a little safe, waiting for the rest of the Stalkers to pop out. And the forced encounter is going to hit right about now, where he's going to get pinched by extra Stalkers. Colossus is going to do work and damage. And here's Destiny saying, who needs 3rds? Herp derp. Effing retard. A little bit BM there, Destiny. Destiny, you killed your own queen. You are aware that you killed your own queen. Right? Okay, I'm just checking. All right, thank you. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Check out Convergence Gaming at convergencegaming.com. Link is going to be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this. I have a couple more replays that I want to throw out there for you from this team. They are quite good, and they are starting to make their own little name for themselves. They're going to be moving into a team house very soon. So check it out. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, make sure you check out my cast, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Matt the StarCraft signing it out. See you guys later.